Alex, you're a little bit unique in that you are a graduate student at Queen's University. Do you want to give us a little bit of your background, where you're from, and how you came to be a student at Queen's?
Well, my background is I spent 4 years at Wayne State University. I ran cross country only. We didn't have track, so it was
Where's Wayne State at?
Wayne State University is in Detroit, Michigan. So it's a bit of a drive from Charlotte, North Carolina. Why I'm here? That would definitely be. I would attribute that to I was trying to find a track program that had an MBA program at the same time that really fit my needs and what I wanted to pursue. So.
Tell me a little bit about, since you've gotten to Queen's, obviously never having run track at the collegiate level before, tell me about your experience and some of the highlights thus far.
Definite difference being that I've never run track. Right now it's been a lot more of it's a strange experience to go to a track meet for a whole day and sometimes come back for another day, where my old school we go for one event and then we drive back to home. And it wouldn't be a big, we'd never make a big deal about any meets, but now we actually have a conference we look forward to, some legitimate competition that I get to see again and again. A couple of teams that we have in our conference, I've gotten to actually talk and hang out with some of the other guys. It's a nice experience to have other teams that recognize you and want to compete against you, and not just like a very competitive manner, but an actual friendly, wanting to see each other kind of manner. It's a very interesting...
Friendly rivalry.
Yeah, friendly rivalry. It's something that I haven't had in a while, at least as far as a collegiate experience goes, because back at Wayne State, we had a few that were friendly rivals, but not as many as we have down here.
So tell me about your race experience, the opportunities that you've gotten indoor, outdoor, and kind of what the highlights have been.
Well, the biggest change for me is that when we would do indoor meets at Wayne State in Detroit, we didn't do anything shorter than 5,000 meters, and immediately when you guys threw me in the 3,000 meter, that was a totally different experience. I'd never done anything that short. It was very strange to me, just because I never really raced that kind of distance. And then going into the outdoor season, going to bigger meets like NC State and running the 10,000 meter, that was a whole new dog in itself. I've never tried to tackle anything like that, and it was a great experience. Very fast. I was very, very happy with that.
Now you put up a national qualifying mark in the 10,000 at the Raleigh Relays, hosted by North Carolina State. You want to talk to us a little bit about the race and give us your time?
Well, the overall time that I ended up getting was 30:43. It was the qualifying mark by, I want to say, it was about 9 seconds, and it was it really kind of the race unfolded a lot differently than I expected. I wanted to go out and I wanted to just blaze through the whole thing and run as fast as I could. And when I hit the 5,000 meter mark, I kind of realized that there was still another 5,000 to go. And that was, as having enough years knowing how far a 10,000 meter race is, it was still a very sobering moment when you realize halfway through a race that you still have another half that you have to kill yourself through. And it was, at that moment, it was a shocker, but at the same time, I knew I was ready for it. I've had years of training up to this point, and then the training that I've done here has been tailored specifically to those events. So at the same time, it was a little shocking, but I was pretty prepared for it. And I was very excited to run fast. So
now you've got the opportunity to race again at another big meet coming up here. I think during finals week. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, Penn Relays is a big race that we've only heard stories about. We've seen pictures and videos, and to have the experience, the opportunity to actually race at Penn State Relays, all my buddies back home are itching to. They're telling me I have to tell them exactly what it was like. I have to take tons of pictures, and I have to be able to tell them to the detail what everything was about. And honestly, I really want to approach it like it's any other meet, just because that's really what it is. I want to go out there, compete, and do my best. It's going to feel a little different with, upwards of 40,000 people watching. So I'll be pretty excited for it. But as of right now, I want to run just as fast as I can and kind of pay attention to what's in front of me and not stretch too far into the future.
So, we ran 30:43 as our 10K collegiate opener. Can you talk about maybe some personal goals that you have for the Penn Relays, and then potentially even maybe even a later season 10K, even further down the road that you might even get into. What are some of your personal goals?
Honestly, as far as the 10,000 meter goes, I really want to see how fast I can get it. I know I've got a lot of opportunities to run fast, but I really want to capitalize on whatever I can. And honestly, Penn Relays, I want to see myself under like 30:30. That's been my goal since I've been down here. On my way down here, I've been contemplating every kind of outcome that I've wanted to see, and immediately 30:30 is the one that's right at the door. And I'm going to knock down the next meet we get the chance. And after that, it's just going to be a no holds bar, see how fast I can get it down to. Because I would really like to break open and try and get under 30. That'd be a very nice time, but realistic long time goal, I'd like to see at least a 30:10 or a 30:15.
So talk to us a little bit about training that you've been doing since you got here and how that's played into your progression in the 10 and the 5.
Well, the first immediate change that I've noticed was coming from Detroit, where we had snow and lots of cold weather, to being down here and coming to practice in 50 degrees, being a cold day, or 45 and sunny. It's a definite change for me distance-wise, and when it comes to running in the wintertime and even springtime. And doing track workouts has been something that I never really focused on during our track season. So immediately right off the bat, starting off with 2K tempos into mile repeats, and then doing stuff that is focused more on speed, like 600s and 400s, was something that I've never been used to. And it's been a very exciting seeing the progression as the season's been going on, because after a few weeks of doing 400s, quarters and 600s and stuff, and then getting into some more of the distance stuff, when I hit a 2K at a time that I didn't know that I was going to be doing, it's much more, I feel much more confident actually going out there and busting out and easily hitting times that I didn't think I'd be doing unless I was in a race.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, Alex. Maybe we'll talk to you at Penn Relays.
Not a problem.